The invisible poison of arguments. Have you ever noticed how some arguments seem to drain your energy for days? How even hours after a conflict, your mind keeps replaying every word, every comeback you wish you'd said? Studies show that the stress from arguments can raise cortisol levels in your body for up to 24 hours. It messes with your sleep, your productivity, even your mental health. And worst of all, most of the time, these arguments lead absolutely nowhere. In this video, we're going to dive deep into the power of absence, the principle the Stoics deeply believed in, and why staying silent can be a sign of emotional intelligence, inner strength, and even strategic superiority. Let's see how the ancient masters of self-control viewed the power of staying silent. 1. What the Stoics said about silence and self-mastery. For the Stoics, speaking less was a sign of wisdom. Seneca wrote, "Words should be weighed, not thrown like arrows." Epictetus taught that we shouldn't focus on what others say, but rather on what we can control, our response. And Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome and one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, put it plainly, the best answer to anger is silence. For him, arguing with someone driven by emotion was like trying to reason with a drunk, pointless and exhausting. These Stoic masters knew the world is noisy, and reacting to everything just adds fuel to the fire. Real emotional control lies in not being shaken by provocation. Absence, in this sense, isn't indifference, it's wisdom. It's choosing where your energy goes. The illusion of argument, when debating only feeds the ego. How many times have you gone into a debate thinking you'd solve something only to leave more frustrated than before? Here's the hard truth. Most people aren't trying to understand. They're just waiting for their turn to talk. That's the illusion of arguing. We think we're being logical and persuasive, but often we're just feeding our ego. We want to be right. We want to win. The Stoics called this the passion of reason, when even our logic becomes a tool to defend our pride. Epictetus said, "You don't convince a fool by yelling louder, but by staying silent." Trying to correct someone who isn't ready to listen isn't wisdom. It's stubbornness. Instead, absence becomes an unexpected response. It breaks the cycle and puts you back in control. 3. Ignoring isn't weakness, it's a war strategy. Many people mistake ignoring for weakness, but that's a classic mistake. Ignoring is about choosing where to fight, and choosing your battles wisely is a Stoic virtue. In the art of war, one of the most powerful tactics is strategic non-action. Sun Tzu said, "The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting." That applies to physical war and also to emotional battles in everyday life. In business, top CEOs often ignore public attacks because responding would give their opponents a stage. In politics, leaders who stay silent during smear campaigns often come across as composed and strong. In relationships, silence during tension can prevent deep wounds caused by thoughtless words. Absence disorients the aggressor. They expect resistance, but find a void, and the void echoes louder than a scream. 4. The real benefits of absence: peace, respect, and authority. When you stop reacting to everything, something powerful happens. You start gaining real power, not over others, but over yourself. The first reward of absence is peace of mind. When you choose not to react, you stop letting other people's energy invade your inner space. You sleep better, think more clearly, and become harder to shake. As Marcus Aurelius said, calm is invincible. Then comes respect. Well-used silence creates presence. When you don't react to provocation, you show confidence and maturity. People start thinking twice before confronting you. And the most curious part? Those who once provoked you start to feel uncomfortable with their own behavior. Finally, there's authority. Leaders who speak only when necessary are heard more clearly. People who can walk away from arguments are seen as strategic. Absence makes your presence more valuable. 5. How to practice the power of absence in daily life. Now let's move from theory to action. How can you apply this power in your daily routine? Breathe before you react. When someone provokes you, pause for 3 seconds. That space between stimulus and response, that's where your freedom lives. Use absence as a language. Stop replying to toxic messages. Avoid giving attention to those who only want conflict. Absence also communicates, and often louder than 1,000 words. Watch the impact. Notice how people change when you stop reacting. You'll be surprised by how silence can shift the atmosphere. Remember, you don't have to react to everything. Those who react to everything are slaves to the world. Those who choose where to invest their energy are free. 6. Common mistakes when trying to ignore, and how to avoid them. Ignoring is an art, but like any art, if done poorly, it can become a silent disaster. Mistake number 1, ignoring with contempt. Some confuse absence with arrogant superiority. It's not about turning your back with disdain or acting cold. That just fuels conflict and shows pride. The real power of absence lies in emotional neutrality. It's not about punishing others with silence. It's about protecting your peace. Mistake number 2, pretending not to care while boiling inside. This one's classic. You stay silent on the outside, but inside, you're raging. That kind of silence becomes a prison. But the Stoics taught that real silence starts in the mind. The key is to shift your perspective. What others say isn't an attack, it's just an opinion. Mistake number 3, giving up too soon. Many people try ignoring once or twice, don't see instant results, and quit. But ignoring is a long-term posture. The benefits come with time. Less stress, more respect, more control. It's a practice, not a magic switch. Avoiding these mistakes turns silence into an unstoppable force. And mastering that art makes you what the Stoics most admired: unshakable. 7. Conclusion. Arguing can be tempting. We want to prove our point, show we're right, defend our honor. But as we've seen, true strength isn't in the comeback, it's in the self-control. To ignore, in the Stoic sense, isn't to give up. It's a conscious action. It's choosing not to be a puppet of your emotions. It's knowing that silence, when used wisely, speaks louder than 1,000 arguments. Let's recap. Silence was a Stoic virtue, a sign of wisdom and control. Arguments often just feed the ego and lead nowhere. Absence can be a powerful strategy for respect and authority. Practicing this power requires skill, consistency, and emotional balance. And of course, avoiding the most common mistakes makes all the difference. Final practical tip. Next time someone provokes you, take a deep breath and say to yourself, "My peace is worth more than this conversation." Then walk away. No guilt, no fear. Are you someone who argues too much, or are you already practicing the power of absence? And remember, in a world where everyone is shouting, silence is the new revolution. If this content helped you see life with more clarity and balance, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications to keep receiving insights that strengthen your mind and spirit. Share it with someone who needs this message today, and drop a comment below telling us what resonated most with you. Your voice might inspire someone else too. See you next time.